Cincinnati looking to win. Johnson!
Muhammad for three to tie.
Oh! It's going to be Little.
Watch out. Here comes the big ball. Takes it all the way. Oh! Comes out of the rafters to Janet.
Kilpatrick outruns everybody.
Y'all create some great players, you know, James Clyde White.
Right, 21. And the house goes up. And James gets down.
Gary Clark is a problem.
Put the children in the other room. There's a big time provider at the rim.
With the first pick, Kenyon Martin from the University of Cincinnati.
Run out for Eason. Stevenson throws it up quickly and nails it.
Number 31, Nick Van Exel.
Let's get Tony Bobbitt back in there.
I wonder how Steve Logan would be over in Afghanistan or somewhere. I bet he'd be pretty poised. He just does not get rattled.
The past ain't coming back. Only the jukebox can cue up glory days.
That's too damn bad!
It's not all bad, though. Win or lose, Chatterbox Bearcats is here for you to break it down. The show starts now. Yo, what is the good word, everyone? Welcome into Chatterbox Bearcats. We go live after the exhibition games. We go live after every regular season game. And this year, we go live during the NCAA tournament because Final Four, Houdini. Maybe not, but 100-98, the Bearcats take down the 7th-ranked Michigan Wolverines. Exhibition game. But for a team that Wes Miller said is nowhere near ready to play basketball, he gave us the old hedge. They were ready to play basketball for a half. They were up 20, and then Michigan came storming back. But I want to start in the first half, Houdini. 52-34, the Cats led at the break. They shot 58% from the floor. They hit 7 3-pointers. They out-rebounded Michigan. They protected the basketball and turned the Wolverines over 14 times. I mean, thoughts right out of the gate. Shon Abaev legit looks like James Harden. Keyshawn Tillery looks ready to play. Tyler McKinley looks ready to play. And Buck Harris, he's a menace, baby. What's up, Houdini?
Feeling good, man. I didn't think it would turn into, by the end of the game, I'm like, this is a must win. You can't let them come back into this. And I had to realize it's an exhibition game. But yeah, Wes Miller with that, earlier in the week saying this team's not ready to play basketball. And then they just wiped the floor with a top 10 team in the country right out of the gate. And you just saw, it was amazing to see the amount of depth we have. Obviously, we didn't have Celestine playing today. Obviously, Jalen Haynes is hurt. But
Atari,
the amount of
too.
guys, right, Atari, the amount of guys that they have, there was positives for every player that we saw play today. Obviously, it was a little bit sloppy. Some of the turnovers let them get back in the second half. But you put up 100 points against Michigan? I'm feeling pretty damn good. I'm trying not to overreact to an exhibition game, but I did look. The Final Four is in Indianapolis. I might have to start making plans to make it there.
You don't need to make plans. That's a day trip, baby. Grab some Skyline on the way. Head past Harrison. You're good to go. 6 players scored in double figures for UC. It was Shon Abaev and Kirk Kriisa who led the way with 15 apiece, and Mustafa Cham with 15 apiece. Sincere Harris had 13. Day Thomas had 12. Baba Miller had 11. 6 for Keyshawn Tillery. 7 for Tyler McKinley. Alvin Zealot had 3. Jordy Rodriguez hit a 3. And that was the scoring for Cincy, who, again, Jalen Haynes still waiting on word from his injury. That's someone that can give you double figures, we think. Lucas Atari, a total unknown from Brazil, I believe it is. Jordy from Spain, Lucas from Brazil. And then who else? I guess Jizzle James not coming back, so that's kind of the squad. Jalen Celestine, too, someone that can give you double figures. Did it at Cal and did it at Baylor. So, yes, this team is very deep. Now, it feels a little like deja vu from the Big Ten matchup that the Cats had last year with Ohio State. So, in games that don't count, Cincinnati pulverizes the Big Ten. Even though this was a 2-point game, they put up 100 on the 7th-ranked Michigan Wolverines. I liked what I saw, man. 32 points from the bench, 40 points in the paint. 25 points off turnovers. They forced Michigan into 20 turnovers, 18 second chance points. They were 6 of 6 in dunks. We'll take that with all the missed dunks we've had over the last few years. I'm going to start off the show by saying this. I think Baba Miller's our best player. Do you have any other player that you come out from that game saying is better?
I think that's still to be determined. I don't think I'm going to flat out say anything after the first exhibition game. I mean, you could argue Shon. You could argue Shon Abaev on the offensive side, and that was probably the biggest wild card was what is Shon Abaev going to do at this level? And you kind of saw it right off the jump. But no, Baba Miller was awesome. He fouled out of an exhibition game. So you don't love to see that. But he was all over the glass, too, early. And that's what you love to see. We just did not see – we haven't seen that from our 4 spot since probably, Trey Scott? Like, it's been a while since we've had a legit 4 that can do a bunch of different little things. And he's just a gamer. Like, he just knows where to be on the court, gets to the loose balls, and he's obviously gigantic. It doesn't hurt to be gigantic.
No, it does not. The last 4 probably was Tari Eason, but he was buried on the depth chart behind Rob Banks. So that happened. Shout out Rob Banks. Wes clearly just tinkering with the rotation. I mean, he played Zealot 14 minutes. I don't know if that's going to be the case this year. Jordi Rodriguez played 13, and based on him trying to take a charge in the first half, I don't think defense is going to be his specialty. It was the anti-Brandon Pajemski. He doesn't look like he takes a lot of charges. Let's just put it that way. But had a good-looking stroke, and I think Wes Miller has some confidence in that stroke, considering the first half play was designed solely for him. Subbed in Jordi. Jordi traveled, immediately subbed him out. So that's his specialty, sharpshooter. But again, I could see him being someone that's kind of lower in the rotation, Zealot lower in the rotation. But aside from those two, man, Shon Abaev is clearly a day one dude. He played 25 minutes, second most on the team, 4 of 8, 3 of 6 from 3. Literally had a Harden-esque move where he would just weaved his way inside the 3-point line, backed it out, went between the legs, behind the back, and no one's blocking his 6'8" shot. Smooth lefty fadeaway release, bang. I mean, association shot. And then he threw one down, one-handed cram job that looked like Dan Skilling's.
That was special. I was a little nervous. He came out of the gate, and you're going to have to deal with some of that one-on-one stuff. And that's his game, right? Like, that's what he's used to doing, and it works. But you're going to have to deal with probably some bad shot selection. We saw that early. And you can certainly tell he doesn't lose confidence really at all. I mean, you can see that at Overtime Elite. You saw it tonight. And he's going to keep chucking it. And what I was, I knew he had the step back pull-up jumper. Chuck, I can never hear anything in my headphones. I have no idea what that said. There was something. March Madness music. Cue it up, brother.
I mean,
but he was getting by guys. He was getting by guys, Chuck, like at the perimeter. Elite defenders, Big Ten, Ken Palm, their number 11, Michigan, 7 in the country. Like, we're not talking some scrubs, and he was able to get by guys. So I love seeing that get into the rim, too, and not just relying on that jump shot.
Can you
Houdini, are we back? John White, I hate to say it, but yes, we're back again. Wes has pulled us. He does it every year, though. Hopefully this can actually turn into something special because we have the recipe for it. It's just a matter of when you pull it out of the oven, is it just going to be, a shit brisket, or is it going to be nice and juicy? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, don't overcook that thing, Wes. Don't overcook it. A 20-4 run in the first half put Cincy up 13, and that was just the start. UC led by as much as 20. They held Michigan without a field goal for 8 minutes. You saw the scrappy nature of someone like Kerr Kriisa, who's diving on the floor, who's waving the towel on the bench, who's, getting in Abaev's face after Abaev throws it down on a Michigan player. There was some height there from Kerr Kriisa. Cham, I was very pleasantly surprised with his inside game. I don't love him getting the basketball 18 feet from the bucket, shades of Aziz, but only a turnover or 2 from, the high post and extended. And then down low, he had a nice little spin move, had a little fadeaway jumper. Like he's got some touch around the basket, which is a very welcomed addition after Aziz the last couple of seasons. I think Baba's our best playmaker. Maybe not our best player, but playmaker. I mean, he had 11 6 and 4 today. And you could tell that he's like a drive and kick guy, looks really good in transition. And then I thought Tyler McKinley playing with Mustafa Cham is extremely interesting. And McKinley looked good, man. Also hit a 3-pointer. Tillery looked like a good freshman. Elite on-ball defense. Nice little reverse layup and one that looked good. And then we talked about Sincere's active hands. Him and Tillery on the floor together was very special. What do you think Niehaus is doing right now? Him and his father saying, that's Shon Abaev. That is James Harden. Literally, Sun Devil James Harden, man.
Well, they shot, 38%, almost 39% from three, 12 of 31. In the first half, it was even higher than that. Immediately I was like, this is the team that you lock arms with your father and tears start coming out. Because this team seems like they are able to shoot the rock. And even, like you mentioned, Jordi Rodriguez, I think he's going to be a lower rotation guy, but he can certainly shoot. A catch and shoot guy, you put him in there. If you're down, you need to get something going from the perimeter. But you kind of mentioned it, Tillery. I thought he was one of the other wild cards too with Jizzle's departure. He certainly looks like he can take up minutes at a backup point guard spot. Like I didn't see any issue with that at all. He'll make mistakes. He's young, but I have no issue with him taking care of the second unit. It'll be interesting to see what we do with the rotations. Like, are we going to stick with a Kriisa and Dede Thomas starting 1 and 2? I don't necessarily hate it. I mean, Kriisa, the first possession, he got 2 threes up, made one of them, 4 of 9. You saw that dog mentality. I still think Buck Harris is going to have to finish games no matter what. I know he's not in the starting lineup, at least, for this exhibition game, but he was awesome. Like, I mean, I knew I was going to be a fan, but just seeing him in that UC uniform with those blocks on the shorts, man, he was everywhere. He is a dog.
A couple of things. One, when Shon Abaev committed, Wes Miller said that passing was his most underrated skill set. Did not have an assist today compared to his 2 turnovers. Does not necessarily look like he's going to be a playmaker from day one. Did swing it a bit, but for the most part, what his skill set's going to be is the fact that he can legit stroke it from 30 feet, step backs, fadeaways, all those sorts of shots, and he's going to get it off at will, it felt like. I mean, that's a long Big Ten team that is expected to compete in their conference, maybe even win it. And Abaev right away, first collegiate game, goes to work, 4 of 8, 3 of 6. One of those dudes that can legit score 10 points in 90 seconds. And, there were halves last year where Cincinnati would score 10 points, it felt like. So that's very welcome. And then I thought Sincere Harris, inversely, it's the word I'm looking for, opposite, and antinymously, I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it up. He looked like a playmaker, man. Like, he looks like someone that can drive and kick, and it looked better than I thought. Even had a nice behind the back pass at one point that led to a 3.
Yeah, no, I mean, I towards the end of the game, he was very crucial in playmaking, driving to the rim, and he shot 1 3, I believe, no, 2 threes, I guess, and it didn't look great, at least the one that I saw. If he can figure that out at all, because they're giving him 3 feet, and he's still getting by guys because he doesn't necessarily need the ball in his hands. He's kind of a slasher. He cuts through. He makes the right plays. But I was very impressed with our guy Buck Harris, man. I'm super excited. And to your point about Shon Abaev, man, just the offense. I know it's an exhibition game 1. It just looked completely different than last season. Like, the pace was so quick and frenetic, and it was moving. And then you have a guy like Shon Abaev. We didn't have a guy last year that if you're playing in Iowa State, for example, you can't get any space. He's going to be able to get a decent look almost no matter what. He can bail you out at the end of a shot
for him.
clock.
For most people, if it's any other UC player, if that's like Deion Dixon, we're like, what the hell is that shot? But for him, those are good looks.
Yeah, no, it's just a huge thing to have, a crutch to have from an offensive perspective, to be able to get bailed out with a guy that's 6'7" and can get, a shot off on anybody. So I'm excited.
Have you seen a jumper that is more NBA ready from that type of range with that little of separation than Shon Abaev at UC? I'm not talking like
through my Rolodex. Yeah, I was like, I mean, there's only a few guys you could even look at. I mean, Lance Stevenson certainly didn't have that jump shot, but I mean, when's the last time we saw a freshman? It's Lance, right? That's been this hyped up and at least so far has shown that promise. I mean, you could see why he was I guess technically not a top 25, but he was the 27th ranked player on 247. You could certainly see why just right off the jump. And the broadcast mentioned that too. Our guys over at Big Ten Plus snaked me out of $10. Thank God they got a score bug up. I was like, they're really just not going to keep score? Like, I can't even see the damn score. I paid $10 for one game. What is this?
Can you believe back in like the 1960s, maybe even into like the 70s and 80s? I don't know. I'd have to find the exact time, but they didn't have the score bug up. Like, you go back and watch old UC games from the early, may even been the Huggins era, man, like 92. And you're watching the game and there's nothing. And then like 10 minutes into the YouTube video, it'll pop up the score like 23-8. And I'm like, this is the first time I've seen the score. How did people used to watch sports that way? Truly baffling.
Insane. That's insane. I mean, that's like listening to the radio. You're waiting for Dan Horde to update you on the score.
Truly baffling, man. I thought Kirk Ariza was really good defensively. I'm shocked that he didn't get called for a charge, or rather taking a charge on one of the plays that ended up being a foul on him. He had 4 fouls in the game. I guess if you want to look at a couple things that are scary, it's Cincinnati's second half giving up how many points to Michigan. It was a bunch, to say the least. Why can I not find the split box? Okay.
66.
They gave up 64 points
64.
in the second half. Like, I mean, what would Mick Cronin do if a team gave up 64 points in a half?
That's a great. I don't think it would ever
swim across the Ohio River.
He would also never put up 100 in a game.
He'd be like, hey, you got to swim across the Ohio River, and instead of this barge taking Hooters down the river, you guys literally have to tie it up with a lasso and carry this thing, swim with this thing down the river. I mean, that's 64 points. That, you're right, it would never happen.
It would never happen.
So they got to clean that up. Ariza, though, liked him. Harris liked. I mean, dude, there's just a lot to like about this year's team. And 48 hours ago, I said, I'm not letting Wes get me back in. I'm going in with zero expectations. I'm not getting excited until February. And he did it again, man. I'm fired up. I'm ready to just say outlandish things. I'm ready to say that Shon Abaev is the next James Harden.
He looked really good, man. One other thing to be slightly concerned about, and it had a lot to do with Michigan getting back in the game. Shot 63% from the line. Can't happen, man. We got to be better than that from the free throw line. It has been a arch nemesis of this team. Doesn't matter the coach. Doesn't matter the players. They shoot, 220th in the country in free throws every damn year. It's insane. And we saw a lot of missed free throws towards the end of the game. So you got to clean that up too.
Yeah, Michigan had 41 points from the line today. They went 41 of 48 from the free throw line. So they missed it 7 times in 48 attempts, and then Cincinnati missed 13 of their 35 attempts. So 85% for Michigan, 62% for Cincinnati. It's on par, man.
It's a little home cooking. I mean, why are they reviewing plays in an exhibition? Do you see that? They reviewed at the end of the game. I'm like, what the hell are we talking about? Just play the damn game. We don't need a review in an exhibition game. But Dusty May, man, they wanted to win the game. What's his name was in there? Lendeborg was limping around.
Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever the hell his name is.
It's Lendeborg.
All right. And he was, he's a stud, obviously. He damn near had 30 points, I believe, tonight. But he was limping around with like a quad injury, and they just kept playing him. Like, Dusty May was trying to win that game. This was high energy. There was a tech thrown out. I mean, this was like a real deal game, even though it's an exhibition, obviously.
Yes. To the comment on the screen from John White, I did say I was going to reserve all judgment until conference play. And yes, I can't get fooled again, but he's going to do it. Wes Miller's going to do it, man. Exhibition king. Are we fired up about this exhibition win? I mean, that's a top 10 team. I used to get fired up about the secret scrimmages when I'd hear that Cincy came within 7 points of Louisville, and we just beat Michigan on a televised broadcast that all it costed was $8.99, and you could watch the Bearcats put up 100. So I love that. And then just in general, this starting 5 that they rolled out of Abaev at the 3, Kirk Ariza at the 2, Day Thomas bringing it up the floor, and then Baba Miller and Mustafa Cham. That's a pretty solid 5, man. With Sincere Harris coming off the bench, potentially finishing it out. That's a nice 6-man rotation right there. Add in Celestine, that's probably 7, hoping he's healthy. And then, I mean, McKinley and Tillery are wild cards. They looked really good, man. They looked like they could play. And I know we said the same thing last year about, who was it? Tyler Betsy Arrington Page. Yeah, I said Arrington Page looked like, who did I say he looked like? DeAndre Ayton. I'm like, he looks like a young DeAndre Ayton, man. And it did not work out that way. Best of luck to him at Northwestern this season. But 8-9 guys, that's the rotation you need. And then hopefully our guy Big Slime's back here soon. If that were to happen, still
that
nothing.
Would be huge.
Yeah, that'd be huge. Still nothing.
I like the Frenchman Zella. I played just fine. He played just fine. But yeah, I'd much rather have Big Slime coming in for those minutes than Zella. And we love Zella. I mean, one of the only 2 returning players this season. But just talking about the bigs, though, I mean, Shon is just a unit. I know we played UCF a couple of times, but seeing him play for a full game, like I was like, they try to get it into the interior against him, and the guys can't move him. They just cannot move him. Aziz Bandago last year, he was a decent defender, sure, good rim protector, but he would get bullied. I mean, somebody farted too much, he would just fly into the stands. Like he just couldn't stand his ground. Shon is not going to be, that's not going to be the case for our guy Shon, man. He is a unit, and we saw that tonight. 15. He needs to get a little more from the rebounding side. He had 2 boards. Come on, Mustafa.
Not even
more out of that.
Not even a Sky Rosa fart could take him off the block, man. He is a unit. You're right. Yeah. So Zella, that's someone that I just kind of sharpied in as not really being a rotation guy this year, but he got 14 minutes and held his own in his 13 minutes out there. Did have 3 fouls. That was an issue. Every Bearcat had multiple fouls that played tonight. Day-Day had 4. Baba Miller fouled out. 4 for Kriza, 3 for Abaev, 3 for Cham, 4 for Jordy Rodriguez. And the only reason I bring that up is because you don't have the front court depth without Jalen Haynes. And if Baba Miller's someone that gets into foul trouble often, or if Cham's someone that gets into foul trouble often, you may see some small lineups out there or a heavy dose of Tyler McKinley. But again, I thought I saw enough from McKinley today. 3 of 3 from the floor, 3 rebounds, and no turnovers, to where I feel confident throwing McKinley out there. Now, the knee's a little bit sketchy with that transformer on his leg. But aside from that, I felt pretty good about him. He looks good out there for a freshman.
No, McKinley pleasantly surprised from McKinley. I thought he looked really good, especially kind of in his first collegiate game ever. I thought he held his own. He hit that wide open 3, nothing but net, nothing but nylon. But yeah, that's where you get into trouble though. If a guy like Baba Miller fouls out, we like Zella, but I don't think that he's ready to go in for big minutes and big games and conference play. And I saw Wes, he was kind of flirting with he did a couple lineups where he had 4 guards out there with Shon at the 5 or a McKinley at the 5. I'd love to see, like, we don't have the advanced stats on what the plus minus was out there with that lineup, but he was doing a lot where he had Zella or McKinley and Shon at the same time. And the offense didn't seem to skip a beat, which is a far cry from what we saw last year when we had 2 bigs and Dylan Mitchell couldn't shoot it from 6 feet and Aziz, couldn't shoot it from anywhere. So it's a little bit different from what I've seen, at least so far.
Yeah. Tonight's performance looked like the February Bearcats from a season ago, where they just started rattling off 90 plus every game. So, hey, we'll take it. Hopefully they do this all season. It's a game that doesn't count, but if you weren't fired up before, we wrote them off. When Wes Miller's like, when Wes Miller's like, we're not ready to play, I'm like, oh, he's already throwing out the excuse. Or when we get trounced by 19. And I didn't think we looked great to start. And bam, Abaev and company just start hitting shots. And when it rained, it poured, and they were able to hold on down the stretch. They were ready. Shon Harden, and the stock appears to be up for the Cats. Tomorrow, we got the live postgame show of the Oklahoma State UC 24th ranked UC Bearcats, I should say. I'm asking you live on the air. Are you doing that show with me? Am I just rattling off a 5-minute postgame solo? Hey, we covered the spread. Who gives a damn? On to the next, or what? Oklahoma State stinks, man. Can you believe that a road game against Oklahoma State is this? I mean, we're three touchdown favorites.
I mean, they're playing a wide receiver at quarterback. We're talking about Oklahoma State. I mean, this is like a storied program for the last 15 years. And this should be an absolute blowout. To answer your question, I do not want to do the post game, but I will. All right. That's part of, putting your hard hat on and going to work. Because really nothing good could come out of this game. Like if it's tight, you're pissed. It's certainly the only thing that can happen is you totally overlook this team and you lose somehow. Then it's, holy hell, what happened? But I assume this is going to be, a 28-point game, something like that. I can't imagine that the wide receiver is going to keep up with Brennan Sorsby, the best quarterback in the state of Ohio, behind Joe Flacco.
Clip it! 198. The Bearcats win. If you're hanging out with us right now on YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe. You can take us on the go wherever you get your audio podcast. Check us out on all social media forums. For Houdini, I'm Chuck. Bearcats take down Michigan. Peace, everyone.